Kia ora everyone. I do hope that you are all well, no matter what part of the world you are now viewing this from. I do hope you and your whānaus are all well. Now, this is a quick one. A quickie, as they say. Most of you will be like me, and that is that I really like true crime. And part of the really liking true crime is the police interrogations. And that is one of the reasons why I find it awesome when you come across the awesome interrogations. And this next one is no different. This next police interrogation is pure gold. Now, half of you guys would have seen this police interrogation that's coming up, and the other half wouldn't. The one thing I do know for sure is that the half that did see it will agree with me that this is one of the all-time best police interrogation interviews. Now, before we get into that interrogation, to get the best out of this interrogation or this experience, let's do a thought experiment, right? Thought experiment. CYM. Clear your minds. What I want you to do is think that you are a homicide detective. You are one of the big boys, and you are operating out of, let's say, Louisiana, good old US of A. Now, you and your partner have been investigating a string of deaths, a string of murders, and you believe that the dude sitting in front of you, the guy that you're interrogating, most likely did it, most likely committed these murders, right? Now, here's the thing. The guy that you're interrogating, you as this homicide detective, he used to have the same job as you did. So he was a homicide detective as well, like he's an ex-homicide detective. And what's even better is that this ex-cop used to have your job in your bureau. Like, he was the cop that used to have your job hunting down murderers. Now, the reason why you think it's him, the reason why you as this homicide detective, why we look at him and find him to be the lead suspect in these murders. And how does that come about? Well, this cop back in the day was involved in a really big case, like huge, horrible case. And he actually even got an award. Him and his partner got an award for bravery and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, it was horrible. And the people that were connected to that case are the people that seem to be turning out dead. So we think this guy in front of us, we're interrogating, has lost the plot, and he's going in and he's killing these people, and then he's getting out again. And you think he's doing this because, not just because it's a coincidence, but you've got evidence that places him at some of the crime scenes post-murder. So he turns up when the crowd's there. Police officers or whoever else there sets up cameras at crime scene facing outwards, because crims, when they say return to the scene of the crime, well, they do, because they're stupid. But the other thing is when they're DC-ish, when they are coming back because they revel in what they've done. Those DCs we hunt. Anyway, back to this. Now, back to the experience. Now, we now are in an interrogation room, and this ex-cop that is the top of the list of suspects for those murders, you've just asked him what happened back then when he got that medal with his partner. Tell us about that crime, one that links all the murders. And this ex-cop is going to explain to us exactly how he got those medals with his partner, what happened on that day. Now, as a homicide detective, what we're doing is we're assessing on whether or not this guy could be cracked, whether or not we can get a confession out of him, as what all those other detectives and all those other interrogations are all trying to do. But you're also seeing, would he be the kind of person that would do the crimes like these murders? Find out and make an assessment on whether or not this guy stays at the top of that list. So what happens next is pure gold, because this ex-detective, there's just something about him. I think it's like art. It's a thing of beauty, but it's just different for everyone. It's just a bit different for everyone. Anyway, so that's the question we've asked. Tell us about what happened back then. How'd you get your medal, mate? So now, as this homicide cop inside this thought experiment, let's listen to see what this ex-cop suspect has to say. Let's give him a name. Let's call him Russ. Yeah. Let's call him Russ, baby.
And finally, we arrive at Reginald Ledoux. Man, that place, I never... It reminded me of my pop talking about the jungle thing. Now look, me talking about what happened back then, that ain't gonna do you any good now. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I'm talking about time and death and futility. Now, there are broader ideas at work, mainly what is owed between us as a society for our mutual illusions. Our 14 straight hours of staring at DBs, these are the things you think of. You ever done that? You look in their eyes, even in a picture. Doesn't matter if they're dead or alive, you can still read them. And you know what you see? They welcomed it. Not at first, but right there in the last instant. It's an unmistakable relief. See, because they were afraid, and now they saw for the very first time how easy it was to just let go. And they saw in that last nanosecond, they saw what they were. That you, yourself, this whole big drama, it was never anything but a jerry-rig of presumption and dumb will. And you could just let go. Finally know that you didn't have to hold on so tight. To realize that all your life, not all your love, all your hate, all your memory, all your pain, it was all the same thing. It was all the same dream, a dream that you had inside a locked room. A dream about being a person. And like a lot of dreams, there's a monster at the end of it.